This is the new Mini Cooper Electric. Now the main thing that you have to know is that this is an all-new chassis, and the current ICE generation of Mini Coopers are actually based on the previous generation, even though it's called the 4th generation. Well, this sits on a completely different platform in a joint venture with BMW and Great Wall Motors. The Cooper Electric retains the classic Mini shape, but there are some telltale signs that this is not the ICE Mini Cooper that we know. Firstly, we don't have the traditional door handles that you get from the Cooper. Instead, this is flat and flushed, like in the BMWs. And secondly, you notice the wheel arches have no plastic cladding. Range is a bit of a problem for the last Mini Electric because you have only 234 km of official range. But with this car, you get 305 km, which is pretty useful. Cost is still low by current EV standards, but I think you can forgive this car because, well, it's a Mini. Honestly, boot space in the Cooper Electric is a little bit tiny, but I guess buyers of this car wouldn't really mind. The interior is a really fun place to be, and there are really nice materials, and the software in the screen is amazing, and I do love this texture on the seats as well. There's also a little sushi tray in the middle of the front two seats, and this is quite useful actually for a lot of storage. Okay, space is actually pretty decent for a rear passenger, maybe a lot for long trips, but for short trips around Singapore, I think it's fine. I like the startup sequence of the Mini Electric is still the same as the ICE car. So there's actually like a start-stop key, and you just turn it to get the power to turn on, and you hit the lever down or up to go into reverse or into drive. I think we've been seeing more and more brands leveraging on the expertise of the Chinese when it comes to electric vehicles, and I think it's entirely fine. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And BMW, what they've done here with Great Wall Motors, it's really great because honestly, I can't tell that this car is from Aura Good Cat at all. It drives 100% like a Mini, and that's down to the damping, that's down to the steering feel. The handling, I tell you, it's top class. The car still feels like a proper driving machine, like a go-kart. And I like that the car still feels very compact, so it's properly fun to drive. Now you get something like 150 horsepower and 290 Newton meters. So that's a fair bit of output for this size of car. And this is not even the SE version, which is even more powerful. This is actually just the entry-level version. But honestly, I don't think you need more because this car is a lot of fun with the amount of power it has. And yes, you sacrifice some range with this car, and the upside of this car is that the weight is just around 1.5 tons, which is quite rare for an electric vehicle because most of these cars are actually pretty heavy. And because of that, it transcends down to how the car feels on the road, and you don't seem to get the dynamic disadvantages of an EV. BMW has done a really good job with the augmented sounds based on the different driving modes that you have. A bit more creative, and it responds to your throttle input. I just wanted to show you how it's like in go-kart mode, which is the sportier setting. So obviously the steering firms up, the car feels much more committed to hard driving, and this is how it sounds like. So when I let go of the throttle, it actually has a bit different sound effect, as if like it's backfiring or something like that. So even though it's an EV, there's a bit of an aural engagement, which is not bad. It's not just a linear kind of augmented sound, which makes you want to explore it more in different throttle applications. If you want to sell a car, head on to oneshift.com.